Hello, and welcome to Carlsen and Chill. My name is Andrew,
And I'm Courtney.
and we're really glad you're able to join us today.
Woo, another week down.
Another week, another dime, another dollar.
Holla.
So today, we're going to be level with you up top. It's going to be a more serious podcast.
Yeah, but not super serious.
Not super serious, but we're going to go based off of a topic, and we teased it in episode 1, and so this episode we will talk about our engagement story.
And our wedding.
And our wedding, and the process that took, and where our minds were at
The
during
good,
that.
the bad, the stressful, the fun, all of it.
And everything in between. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for your feedback. I know my sentences keep dropping. I learned that was not the program causing it. That was me.
So I'm going to smack them every time it happens.
So I'm going to try and drop my sentences a lot less, so that way they will not be muted.
Mm-hmm. All right, baby. So before we get started on our topic, is there anything you want to say? We forgot last week when we talked about Trader Joe's.
We have some Trader Joe's follow-up. As we were eating dinner tonight, we were eating their delicious broth dumplings.
It's the ginger
Pork.
and pork dumplings. Oh, they're delicious.
They are you pop them in your mouth and you just get a burst of brothy flavor, and that broth is like heaven sent.
It's 20 out of 10. Very good.
You could say it's heaven essence.
Okay.
Some people might say that. I really love those broth dumplings. If we had to move around the tiers or our ranking at all for any non-seasonal items, the broth dumplings for sure would be close to the top.
I could eat like 40 of them easily.
The only downside, what keeps them from being in the top 5 is it only comes with 6.
And they can be pretty expensive.
And the more you add, the more you pay.
But yeah, anyways. So we buy a pack for me, we buy a pack for Andrew, and we get down on our dumplings.
Were there any other Trader Joe's things that you could think of that we did not mention last week?
Nah, it was just that one, and I felt like they really needed to be mentioned because, like I said, we had them tonight for dinner, and chef's kiss.
We had the dumplings, we had edamame, we had rice. It was
the whole shebang.
It was a well-rounded meal.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the objects were round.
Or oblong.
Or oblong. Work is pretty crazy for me right now. Falling a little behind and afraid that I won't get things done in time for the wedding that we will be heading to next week.
Yeah, exciting.
So we won't be recording next week. We will be busy in Indiana partying it up with my good friend.
Ooh, all the things. It'll be fun.
It will be very fun.
We finally get to meet his fiance.
Yes, we have not met his fiance. We've heard about her. We've heard her voice.
We've talked to her.
We have talked to her.
But, we know her. We just haven't physically seen her.
But yeah, we have not seen each other face to face. Much like our relationship with Christ. We hear from...
That makes no sense.
Just kidding.
He was trying.
I tried.
Homiletical eyes. I remembered that word.
Very good.
Thanks. I'm trying.
So we haven't seen her in person, but we've talked to her. And we know her. But do we know her?
Yes. Okay. I see where you're going with it now.
That makes more sense when I say it like that, right?
So about our engagement. Where should we start in this whole engagement?
Well, we basically can start from right after your birthday that we celebrated together, and we had the sushi, and then you got the leaf blanket. And we kissed for the first time after dating for 5 months.
And fireworks went off, and there was magic.
Oh,
magic in the air.
There was magical air.
I already can't talk.
So the process after that, on that day, as Courtney was sitting on my couch with me, I straight up asked her what her ring size was. and her ring size.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I snuck it in. I just made it like, hey, what's your ring size, by the way? And you're like, oh, 8.5. And you made a cute little face, and you held your hand up like that's it. That's
like,
my ring
it's gonna
size.
go right here.
And then I was like, all right, research time.
And let me tell you, Andrew did a 100 out of 10 job. My ring, I don't know, it's beautiful.
I can post pictures of it because I took high def.
You did a great job.
High def JPEGs of that bad boy.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So the best part of finding the ring for Courtney was I got the ring size, and that's all they really went with. And what I was looking for, she gave me a picture of what she was looking for, like ring style wise. And I don't remember if you remember sending me anything like that.
Oh, I remember.
Okay.
I sent you multiple.
But she wanted one with like a diamond in the middle and then diamonds surrounding it so that it would look good.
My only request was that my diamond be round. I didn't want a square diamond. I don't know what it is. I don't love them, which that sounds so selfish. I would love anything Andrew got for me. I would.
Yeah, she said no square diamonds. If it's square, I send it back.
I did not say that, but I prefer round.
That's what I interpreted it as. So I looked for a not square ring. No. The coolest part about getting Courtney's ring was that I had a friend who works in a jewelry store, and he was there to help me pick out the right ring. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but he gave me a very generous discount on the ring. Not only did he give me a discount on the ring, but I was able to place, what is it called? The center stone. There's a word for it.
I don't know. I know the rest of it is called a setting.
Yeah, the setting. Is that the word for the big gem though? No. Okay. So the centered gem, whatever that's called, I'll put the word on the screen. Boom, there it is. That's what it's actually called. He was able to find a diamond that was one rank below the highest quality diamond you can find.
And now he's just bragging.
There's levels of purity and there's levels of shine on the scale of diamond clarity and purity. And I was able to get, I think it's S+.
He got a good in.
I got the best that my money could buy.
All I know is it's very sparkly and I love it.
Yeah, it's the more pure you get in diamonds, they look yellower, but they're higher graded. But I got the one with super shimmer, and we love that.
Make the whole place shimmer.
But I wanted it to be silver, but I ended up getting, no, I did get silver. My wedding ring is white gold, but it's because it was my grandpa's ring.
Yeah, very sweet.
So I got her that silver ring with the nice round diamond setting and that beautiful sparkly gem in the middle.
Speaking of silver ring, this just throwback. This has nothing to do with it. But do you remember the silver ring thing?
Yes, I do.
Do you guys know what that is?
If you're too young to remember what silver ring thing is, kids cover your ears. It was teaching the youths about saving yourself for marriage.
Anyways, that's just it popped in my head.
I know it just popped into your head, but I actually have a story about silver ring thing if I can tell it.
Tell it, please.
Okay. So, when I was a youngin' in the youths, we had silver ring thing at our church. And so I signed up to get a ring because I wanted to learn, what it would be like to save myself.
And when you get this ring, you're supposed to keep it on your ring finger and give the ring to your spouse when you get married and tell them that you saved yourself for them, right?
Yes. That's the idea.
Oh no. What did you do?
So, if you didn't notice, I wasn't wearing that ring on my finger when we started dating.
Andrew.
So can I tell you what happened?
Scandalous.
What happened to my silver ring?
What happened to your ring? Did you flush it down the toilet?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Stop. How did I guess that? I'm good.
Because it's pretty obvious where
I'm sorry I ruined your
so
story.
no, but for the most part I was like it was like the first piece of jewelry that I like felt really attached to. And so I would play around with it while I was pooping. I guess
Oh,
this
no.
can also be a poop story
It is a poop story.
because when that ring fell in that
Oh,
toilet,
no. Stop. Oh, no.
and so I did not take it back out.
Oh, no.
So I flushed it because I wasn't getting that thing back. I'm like,
if your mom listens to this and she hears you flush your ring down the toilet, she's going to be mad.
I'm sorry, Mom. I did not cause the toilet to overflow.
So I'm guessing the toilet also overflowed?
No.
Oh, but it did a different time.
But she'll blame it on me now.
Oh, for sure.
Now she has that blackmail like, I know what my son did. I was going to do my mom impression, but I don't think she would like that.
No, that's not nice.
I only do that.
Especially with Mother's Day coming up.
Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day. Remember,
Happy
call
Mother's
your mom.
Day. Call your mom.
Call your mom. We did say to do that last time, and I forgot.
Oh, Andrew.
But that's my silver ring thing story. But it's a good message, and it, teaches the youth that you saving yourself has biblical significance, and I believe that. So even though I lost my ring, not because of anything scandalous, but I did hold on to that belief of saving myself until marriage. And I also didn't want to wear a silver ring for 20, almost 20 years. That ain't flying. Be like, are you married? And I'd be like, no, I'm saving myself for my future wife. So, that's that. Even though that was a tangent, that was my silver ring thing story.
I love it. I got one and lost it almost immediately. Honestly, I'm very proud of myself for not losing any of my wedding rings.
I appreciate that too.
I think I know, like, in the back of my head, because they are very expensive.
I don't want to say the price how many G's I dropped on your engagement ring.
Gosh, I don't want
but it was a pretty penny.
Yeah, and Andrew knows I'm really good at losing stuff. But I've been very good at it.
And your wedding ring, we found that on Amazon, right?
So my wedding ring I got off of what's it called? It's like Gentleman something. But they have the like moissanite rings, which it kind of looks like a diamond, but it's way cheaper.
Like the lab grown?
Yeah, like lab grown moissanite. So I have that, and I mean, it's great. There was one time where it got really black. I'm like, what happened? And I got sad, but it went away, whatever it was. So I don't know.
You got sad.
I don't know if it was really dirty or what, but
something happened, and thankfully it's not permanent. That would have been sad.
Yeah, it's been 1.5 years, and it's held up pretty good.
Yeah. So that was basically the ring finding process. Was I had a really good friend help me get the center stone and get a good deal on the ring. And so I think I got the ring around June, I want to say 12th. It was probably a little later than that. And just note, I proposed to Courtney on June 20th.
And we started dating on January 15th, right?
Yes.
Of 2022?
Yes.
And he proposed on
June 20th.
June 20th.
I did just say that date.
2022. I know I already forgot because I was reading something. Sorry.
So, yeah, I started the process of, because I actually went to several different diamond stores to find a ring for you, and just nothing stuck out to me. I honestly was saving myself for the store that my friend worked at, but I mean, it's hard to pick out a ring. There are a lot of options.
I believe it.
But
they're trying to get your moolah.
Yes, they are. But there were a lot of options, but nothing came close to what I got you, in my opinion.
No, it's beautiful, baby. Okay, Andrew, so that being said, how did you know you were ready to get engaged and married in that little of a time span of 6 months?
Honestly, I think it was just the communication we had with each other.
Yeah, we had really good talks.
We did. And even like when we started dating, we just really just laid out our expectations up front. And, you coming out of a divorce had your expectations like I'm not
Yeah,
going through that
I
again.
knew exactly what I wanted.
And
And I
I
was straight up with
I
it.
agreed with the terms and conditions, and I read through
You signed the contract.
the end user license agreement, and I signed it. I said I have read and accept these terms, and also I didn't sign up for any offers or emails.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. I do remember that we pulled another popsicle stick from our date night jar, and one was like sitting down and answering questions like about each other or whatever. And so it was really good because we like made dinner, put on music, we sat on the couch, and we just talked about what our future looked like, what our family dynamics were like, what is okay, what's not okay in a relationship. And I think just being like totally upfront and honest, and like I do feel like literally every single question we asked and answered, they were like almost identical.
Yes. When we asked each other what we were looking for, the key was just the transparency. You don't want to sugarcoat or dance around your expectations, because if you go into a relationship and you set these false expectations, and then when the reality becomes shattered, then you're like, "Oh, well, I didn't expect them to do that."
Mm-hmm.
Um because once we got married, we learned very quickly about our little quirks and our differences that we didn't exactly touch upon,
Yeah.
but just we knew just from all the talking. And Courtney and I can literally talk about anything for hours on end. She
Mm-hmm.
knows I can, because I can ramble on forever.
Oh yeah, get him on a topic he likes. He's gone.
I've started noticing the exact moment she tunes out.
I get a glossy look in my eyes.
Yeah, it's the glossy look and the
Yeah. Oh man, you caught me. I'm really bad at that.
the excitement that I had, because there was one challenge that Courtney gave to me that
Mhm.
also helped me realize like what I wanted to do the day that I proposed. And what was that challenge, Courtney?
I told him, I said, "There's no way you're gonna be able to surprise me. I'm really good at like knowing when things are coming, picking up on the little cues." And I felt at that point like I spent so much time with Andrew. I'm like, I'm gonna know. I'm gonna like absolutely know when he's gonna propose or if he wants to propose because I'm just gonna be able to read him.
And I took that as a challenge, and I said, okay.
And oh man, I was
So
surprised.
So you want to obviously have that moment be very special. And what my dream scenario was, I wanted my family to be involved, and I wanted to do it at like a family gathering with other
Mhm.
people around. Um, my older sister was proposed to at Busch Gardens while she was,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
That's so
So,
cute. She used to work there.
yeah, she used to work at Busch Gardens, and she was the host for the Sesame Street show. And um they're like, "Oh, Abby Cadabby says there's someone special who wants to see you." And then she waved her wand, and then he walked out and proposed in front of like,
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I can't believe I've never heard this story.
oh yeah, it was great. And
That's awesome. Were you guys all there?
yes, we were there.
That's so special.
So the family was there, and a lot of children were also there.
All the kids.
But that was a really good moment. And my younger sister, she was proposed to while we were on vacation to Cades Cove.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And so the family was there for that too, but not the whole family, but the immediate family was.
And that's a special spot for you guys because that's where you family vacation a lot.
Yes, it's our favorite spot in Cades Cove.
And I finally get to go this year to see it.
Yes, and we're really excited for that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But for me, I wanted the family to be together, but everyone's schedules were so like unaligned, and I wanted this to happen like right away, right now. So I tried seeing if my sister who lives in Tampa could come down and make an excuse to have like a family gathering. And the only one that made sense at the time was to have my older sister's birthday. But why would I have an engagement overshadowing like celebrating my sister's birthday?
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't really feel like that would be a good enough reason. What I ended up doing was none of that.
Scratch that.
What I did instead was I took all of our popsicle sticks and the Polaroids that we took for our dates.
Did we explain that we would take a picture every time we pulled a popsicle stick?
No, we only explained the popsicle stick part. We explained that when we wanted to have a date night, we would pull a popsicle stick with a date night idea. What we didn't explain was that every date we did, we took a Polaroid picture with a Polaroid camera that I had lying around. And we would take a picture of that day and we would attach it to the popsicle stick and hang it on like this little what is that thing even called?
It's like a photo hanger. It's like a piece of wood with strings hanging on it, and you can clip clothespins to it with pictures.
And I found that and thought that would look really cute to have the popsicle stick and the Polaroid on the string.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that for every date. What I ended up doing was I took all those dates and all those Polaroids and I attached them to my blinds and kind of made like a collage on the wall. And I also went to Home Depot and bought way too many plants.
He bought so many cute succulent and cactuses. Oh my gosh, I loved them.
And my favorite plant that I bought there was a golden dewdrop.
Mm-hmm. It's huge now. I don't know if you went out back and saw it.
Yeah.
It's like real tall.
It's still alive and it's growing really well, and it's got these beautiful little purple flowers all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked it and thought it would be a cute thing to commemorate the engagement. So after spending almost an equal amount of money on plants as I did the ring,
there were a lot.
And no, this was just a random Monday, and so Courtney had zero expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he called me and he said, "Hey, do you want to come over for dinner?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And I lived probably about 25 minutes away from him at that point with a roommate.
Based on traffic.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, no problem." Well, literally as soon as I left my house, and I brought Marley with me because
you were trying to get her used to me.
Yeah, she's a needy baby and she doesn't like people, so I would bring her over with me so she would get used to Andrew, which 2 years later she's
Didn't
still
work.
not used to him.
Yep.
But anyways, I was like, sure, I'll head over. Soon as I got in my car, it started pouring so much. And there was lightning outside, there was thunder. I called Andrew like halfway to his house and was like, "It's raining so hard. I'm so scared. I can't see anything on the road."
And in the middle of this, I'm setting everything up and I'm like, "Yeah, that stinks. I'm so sorry. Take your time."
And I looked like a hot mess. I had just gotten out of the shower, so my hair was wet and everywhere. Plus, it was wet from the rain. I was soaked. I had just on a t-shirt and some leggings, trying to carry the dog in. It was a mess.
So Courtney didn't look her best that day.
No.
But she looked her best to me.
Oh.
Because it was who she really was.
He's trying to earn brownie points.
Is it working?
No.
No.
Because I know you're doing it.
But I had the collage set up and I took a Polaroid picture of the ring and I put it in the center of the collage, and on a popsicle stick I wrote, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah, it was so sweet. So I had like gotten to the door and was knocking and no one answered. So I opened the door and was there music playing?
I don't know.
I don't remember. But the lights were on. I remember coming in, I said, "Whoa, it's super clean in here."
Yeah, that was the most surprising thing.
And then I was like, Andrew, where are you? And I couldn't find him. I was like, okay, well then I looked over and I saw all the popsicle sticks on the blinds. I didn't even notice the plants.
You weren't wearing glasses?
I wasn't wearing my glasses. I'm kind of blind. But I walked over and I was like, oh, these are cute. And I looked at all the plants. I'm like, oh, look at all this stuff. And I thought he was just being romantic and sweet. And then like as I was looking at all of our dates, I finally saw the one in the middle that said, will you marry me? And I said, shut up.
No. To quote my mother, you said, stop.
I did say stop a billion times because
stop it.
I was so surprised. I was like, there's no way he's going to pull one over on me. I think I was so surprised because it was so soon. And I will confess, a couple times I told Andrew, I said, you better marry me fast because I'm just like, I'm ready to be married. And
I said,
down.
bet. And then I dabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. And he said, watch me. And he came through on his promise because I was like, well, I didn't think it was going to be this soon. But I said yes, obviously. And
after saying stop and stop it about 30 times.
Yeah, and Marley was sitting in the middle of us shaking. But yeah, he had a video camera up and he was recording it. So
correction, I had 3 different angles of video set up. I borrowed my sister's Nikon, and I had my tablet set up, and then I had my phone set up.
My gosh.
One angle was just Courtney's butt the whole time, so I did delete that one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, I never saw that one.
That's because it wasn't the best angle.
It wasn't. My big booty was blocking it the whole time.
It was. Listen, I just wanted to make sure I got one that worked.
Oh, yeah, you did. And then he sent it to his parents, and they were excited for us, and yeah, it was so special.
And we went out for ice cream.
Yeah, and then we saw someone that Andrew used to go to church with. And so she's like, let me see the ring.
Yeah, I just proposed. And she's like, what?
Yeah, it was honestly so amazing. I get embarrassed really easily. And so just having it at his house and planning something so sweet and intimate, like, I loved it. It was absolutely amazing.
Then we were engaged. So between that day and the wedding was 3 months. What happened in that 3 months?
A lot happened.
All right, so now we can talk about...
No, I mean, well, it all happened so fast, it was a blur. I think we were just like, I know for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to find a wedding dress.
Also in the process, you had to find a new place to stay.
Yeah, it was a lot of life changes going on. So I got engaged to Andrew, and then my roommate and her boyfriend at the time, now husband, they were getting really serious. Well, they were going to move in with each other. And so I lived with her, and then the lease was going to be up a month before Andrew and I got married. So she had somewhere else to go. I was like, oh my gosh, where do I go? So I winded up moving in with my grandmother for a month and then moved in with Andrew. So we were shuffling things around. I moved like 90% of my stuff into his house because I was like, I'm not moving. She basically
again. Lived here until the wedding anyway.
Yeah. So I worked here because I worked from home for a while. So I worked at Andrew's house and would go back to my grandma's to go to sleep. And it was a lot of shuffling. But I think the biggest thing for me was finding a dress. And then, like, ordering invitations, taking photos.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure we had food and what we were going to do for that.
The engagement photos.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, which Andrew's sister took.
Yeah. My younger sister took our engagement photos, and we had a lot of fun with that. Mm-hmm. We had many different outfits, and
it was so sweaty.
It was a warm day, so basically once one outfit got sweated, we just changed into another one.
Uh-huh.
And then we can tell one of our engagement photos was taken the wrong way.
A debacle.
There was a debacle with the popsicle. That almost
It was July 4th because we were at your aunt's house.
Yeah. So we had the popsicle stick theme going on, and so I had a popsicle stick with our wedding date. Mm-hmm. Was it the wedding date?
It was the wedding date. And we held it out, but it was where...
The way that the picture was taken... Was it taken on the Polaroid?
So I took it on the Polaroid, and then I took a picture of the Polaroid
with your phone.
Put it on Facebook. And of course, you know what happens once you post something on Facebook.
So it was a stick-like device that looked like something that someone shows when they are expecting a child. And so immediately Courtney's Facebook was flooded with people saying, "Congratulations on the baby."
Oh my gosh. I had so many people thinking we were having a baby. I'm like, no, we are not having a baby. We are getting married.
We're not married yet.
And one of my friends, actually, she texted me and she said, you might want to check your Facebook.
And she's like, huh? Why? Oh.
And then we were at his aunt's house, which is like on an island basically, and we had zero service. So I couldn't even put anything on Facebook until we got home that no, it's not a pregnancy test.
No, it was not anything to do with that. It was just the day of our wedding written on a popsicle stick. We thought it was cute, and it just ruined everything. And
we regret everything.
And you cropped your photo and took that picture out.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Whoops. So be careful with how you take your pictures, because some people might think that you're having a baby.
Yeah, and then I'm sure like all those nosy Nancys from church are probably like, oh.
So one thing that was very important to us in this 3-month window was premarital counseling.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that is very important to us, and we wanted just to have a safe place in the church to talk to a counselor and dig into like the nooks and crannies that we haven't even thought about
of what a marriage actually is.
Yes.
Yeah, and I will say honestly, I think that's when we got down to the nitty-gritty of it and we were answering really hard questions and talking about each other. I think that's where I fell the most in love with you, because I started learning more about you and I loved seeing how honest you were. And it was just a very vulnerable moment for both of us. And I remember coming home and telling you like, oh man, like I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm way more ready than I was even when you proposed. Like it was really cool.
Yes. The program we used was Symbis, or Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I'm proud of you for remembering that, because I definitely did not.
And there was like a guide for men and a guide for women.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you like a quiz, and you answer like 200 questions, but it gets you like your personality and your mindset, where your heart's at,
what you struggle with,
yes. And so
background, yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And not the stuff you always think or talk about. And so being able to like have those things aired out and talk about, yeah, I struggle with this, or yeah, I'm not a decision maker, I'm more of a go with the flow kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know one of the big things I was nervous about, and we had talked about before and we were past it, but like I said on like our first episode, I was married before, and unfortunately I brought a lot of that baggage into this new relationship with me. And I just remember being counseling and telling the pastor and Andrew, like, I'm nervous to even bring up my divorce, because I don't want Andrew to feel like he's competing or that I don't love him, because I'm still thinking about what happened.
And I very quickly just got past that, and I was like, listen, I don't even feel like I'm competing with that man, because he's not a man to me if he would decide to leave someone like you behind.
Because I'm perfect.
Because you're perfect in every way.
No, not, and honestly, not to badmouth anyone. Like, that's not what we're here for. But like counseling it did help with a lot of trauma and baggage that we both went through.
Yeah. And the baggage that we both had, I think my favorite part about the counseling was eventually we were meeting every week, but there came a point when we felt like the counseling was just, we already talked about what we were going to talk about. And so it was like, man, we got this.
Yeah. And I just remember him saying like, you guys are a pretty perfect match. Like, do you remember him saying that at the end? And it just felt really good to hear that, that you found your person and, you're ready to start your new life with them.
Yeah. And so definitely recommend before you get married, just having a counselor, even if it's not through a church, just having that third party to help you understand more about each other. And if you can do it through a pastoral counselor, even better, because having God at the center of your relationship is the
Mm-hmm.
number one thing,
Absolutely.
especially for both of us.
God before anything else.
And yeah, so that communication really just solidified where we were and where we were expecting to go.
Yeah.
And then we were working on getting the dress, for me getting a suit. Finding a suit for a big boy, also not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hunt high and low in many different stores, and I just could not get anything that fit my big old butt.
Aw.
So I ended up going to a hole in the wall. I think it was called like Suits Plus.
Oh yeah, that one by Burlington.
And I just want to throw it out there, but they had shoes. They had a wall of shoes that were so on point. Like any shoe for any occasion.
They were spiffy shoes.
They were spats,
rhinestoned,
bedazzled,
snake-skinned, everything you could ever want in a shoe. They had one probably.
So I walked in there and I said, "Listen, I need to find a suit for me." And they're like, "Got you, boy." They didn't say boy, but
that's what you heard in your brain.
That's what I heard in my brain. They're like, "I got you." And so I wanted a gray suit because I thought gray looked really nice. Fun fact, my dad also had a gray suit. So great minds think alike. But there was one suit and it was almost there. And they're like, "Yeah, well, we can hem it up and have it fitted for you by like 3 hours from now." And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Yeah, we'll just get your dimensions and we'll fit it to you and then you'll be good to go." And I was like, "I will pay whatever price you list." And their prices were really reasonable.
Yeah, they were great. They were great people.
And they had the perfect vest, they had the perfect suit.
There was a little old lady sewing pants right behind the counter. So that's how you know it was good.
Yeah, it was a really great place, and I'm really glad that they got my business, and I would definitely go back there again if I needed a suit at the last minute.
Yeah, so I think other than that, in between the engagement and the wedding, since it was 3 months, we kept it really simple. We were going to do a really small wedding.
And then we realized that we have like 200 members in our family.
Yeah, I honestly wanted to elope, but that wasn't an option.
Just a tip for you guys, eloping is way better.
Yeah, 100%. I would have rather eloped and then...
After going through the whole thing, eloping is definitely a dandy option.
Which I know everyone to each their own. And I felt like I was also being selfish because I had a wedding before. So I was like, I honestly, like, I know you're the one. I just want to elope and marry you and be happily ever after. But, like, our tribe was awesome. We had so many people helping us. Someone we knew.
The benefits of being deeply rooted in a church is there are so many people who will give their arm and leg to make your dreams come true.
Yep. So our wedding planner came from the church. And we got married at Andrew's church that he grew up in. There was someone from that church that his mom knows and works with that she collects all this really cool old antique stuff and is a decorator, and she decorated the whole hall for us.
Phenomenal
decorating. It was
decorating.
Beautiful. I remember a week before I told Andrew, I said, I just realized I have no idea what our wedding is going to look like. None. Like, I know that green is going to be incorporated. That's all I know.
I had full confidence that it was going to look amazing, but
she
went above and beyond.
Yeah, it was absolutely stunning. She made a record wall for us. Like, it was just so... She had vintage couches there. It was just amazing. And
the food was done by someone that we know in the church.
Yep.
And so that the only thing that we really had to dish out money for was the photographer.
And I knew her from my old church.
Yeah, our first option wasn't available, and so we went with Courtney's.
Yeah. Also, pro tip: if you don't know people, booking. We didn't get a DJ because we just did a playlist, but booking a venue, a DJ, a photographer 3 months before you get married is not a good idea because everybody was booked.
Yes,
everybody.
So, the downside to fast tracking your wedding would be planning and scheduling things is hard to do.
Which is why I wanted to elope.
Yeah. Save all that time, all that money.
And
so
Andrew's parents were a big help. They were so kind and paid for a lot of things and helped us out. And I don't know what we would have done without them because they were so helpful.
yeah. We did still choose to donate to everyone who helped out with the wedding. The worship pastor played the piano for when we were taking communion at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And some people had to, they didn't really cancel last minute, but there was the big issue, which was the Category 5 hurricane that hit a week before.
Yeah, Hurricane Ian. Man, that was so... Let me tell you, on top of getting married, trying to figure out... So we weren't home. We went to my sister's, and we stayed with her for the hurricane just because Andrew lived in a trailer at that time, which we still live in.
We do still live in it.
And we stayed with my sister for the hurricane. Andrew lived in his trailer, and I was with my grandma. And we just decided that we wanted to be together. It was a really big storm. We were scared. I wanted Andrew to be with me. So
there was no way I was going to have Courtney by herself.
Yeah. And so we went to my sister's house, and we hunkered down there until after the storm. And it was scary because with Andrew living in a trailer, we're like, oh my gosh, are we going to even have a house to come home to?
The biggest issue was we had no way to get back to the house because we crossed the bridge and the bridges were all closed because the damage, some bridges were completely wiped out.
Yeah, it was so scary. So on top of planning the wedding, thinking in my mind, is the church okay? Are people's houses okay? Is Andrew's house okay? Our house, like,
soon to be our house.
Is it still there? Did a tree fall on it? Like, it was terrifying. And when we did get home, our poor neighbor across the street lost their whole house because an oak tree did fall on top of it.
It fell through the house.
Our house was one of the few that got untouched, and God was so good to us because, oh my gosh, what a uncertainty of a time.
What a nerve-wracking... It was probably like 3 days.
Yeah, of just total anxiety.
Of unknown circumstance. What does the house look like right now?
Yeah.
So very thankful that Courtney's sister was able to house us because they didn't lose power at all.
By a miracle.
So we had air conditioning and water for the most part.
Yeah.
But knowing that we were okay, but not knowing the state of the house was terrifying.
Yeah, I remember just going to sleep one night and crying and telling Andrew, like, what if the house isn't there when we get back in town?
And, what runs through my mind and the uncertainty, and we just prayed. Yeah. That's all you really could do at that time. But we were making sure everyone was okay. And then, people didn't have power basically for several weeks, sometimes the whole month, depending on where it was at.
We went like 9 or 10 days without it.
Almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So then it's like, okay, is the decorator okay? Is the planner okay?
Is the food okay?
Is the food okay?
Did
is the church
spoiled?
Okay? Fun fact, the church was not okay. No. They did not receive power until like
the day before.
The day before.
Yeah, it was insane.
So it's like, okay, so what do you do if you're not able? And
on top of that, getting the parking lot cleaned up, because when we drove past it, it was just trees galore down.
So many branches.
Yeah, it was crazy. But God is good, and it all worked out.
And everyone working together.
Really saved our day.
It saved our wedding.
Yeah. So all that being said, it was a magical day anyways. It was super great. We had all of our friends and family at the church who came to support us. Got down the aisle. We took communion together. We said I do. We kissed. It was a little rushed.
The day flew by. I was going to say the day flew by, but it also was very rushed because we found out that we had to be out of the church by a certain time.
Yeah, so we had basically like 2 hours.
So all the type A's in our family were rushing us through, like, okay, you need to be here. And it's like, whoa.
So everyone ate dinner without us. We were out taking pictures and we got back in and dinner was done.
Dinner was done. We didn't even get to eat.
Yeah, it was crazy, which, I mean, I know most people don't get to eat on their wedding day, but I remember that. So Andrew's sister made us like 6 different kinds of cupcakes, and they were amazing. There was like a strawberry lemonade.
My older sister bakes cakes for a living. That's her job.
Yeah.
A cake decorator at Publix.
And all these cupcakes were beautiful. They were just all different kinds. And all I said was, I want a cupcake. I want several cupcakes. Someone better hold them aside for me. So someone brought like 4 different kinds to our table so we could try them. And I was like, yes, so excited. Well, someone had to leave.
I made the mistake of standing up to give them a hug and let them know, like, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. You mean a lot to me. And then
everyone took that as, oh, we're all saying, because we didn't have dancing at the wedding. No. It was literally just our ceremony, dinner, and then our exit. So everyone took that as, oh, we're all saying bye. So we got 1 bite of food, and then we stood up, and everyone started to form a line. It was like, oh, okay, I guess we're saying hi and bye to everyone.
Pictures and words, and because they didn't get to see us after we said I do, because everyone left, and then we went and took pictures.
Yeah.
And so no one got to talk to us.
Yeah. And so after we said bye to everyone, we wound up doing our exit right then, because a lot of people were going. And right after our exit, I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm hungry. Let's go back in and eat our dinner real fast. And they're like, oh, we need you for your first dance. So we had it off site of the church, so we could have a first dance.
Yes. And by off site, it was literally like 100 feet away.
Yeah, not super
but
far.
I ended up driving to the spot.
Because I was in my wedding dress, so
yeah,
I mean, I was going to
Courtney's
walk
not
super
gonna
far
walk
in it.
However, the spot that I decided to drive to,
it was getting dark.
It was getting dark, and the grass in the area was very tall. So I drove right up to where we were going to have our first dance. What I did not see was the giant rebar that was sticking out of the ground.
Just randomly
in the middle of this field. And so my car plows through the rebar and destroys my headlight and my front bumper.
It was terrifying. It was terrifying because it hit my side.
And
we just looked at each other and we're like, is this real life?
The good thing about that situation, though, was it was NMP, and that means not my problem, because we were going to our honeymoon in my parents' van afterwards. So
yeah,
the car was their problem.
Yeah, so my sister's husband, our brother-in-law, winded up fixing it good enough to get it home. And then
all the real men stuck out and helped us, like, yeah, you got a ding on that their car there, and this is what we're gonna do. And they just like, they basically just turned on man mode and just got the car able to get off of the rebar in moving condition. And it's like, thank God for the men in our lives.
Yeah, and then Andrew's dad and his friend that helped him find the ring, they helped fix the car. So while we were gone on our honeymoon, so we didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we had our first dance, we were ready to go, and I was so sad because I said, oh, I want to go back and get my cupcakes. All the food was gone. Everything was cleared. Everyone threw our food and our cupcakes away, or they took it.
And whoever did end up doing that,
shame.
God has a special place.
Hey. No, don't say that.
No, don't say.
We're really sad.
we're still salty about it.
I'm still mad about it almost 2 years later.
But the first dance was really the best moment.
Oh yeah,
of the wedding day.
I held it together the entire time. I thought I was gonna cry a lot. I actually did not cry once until we got to our first dance, and halfway through I sobbed. I started sobbing because it was just the best day, and I realized I was going home with the man I love, and it was just a fantastical.
What would you say from the wedding day or some of your favorite moments behind the scenes? I would have to say, when we did our first prayer together.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I just remember your best man being there, and he's like, "Oh man, she looks beautiful," and I just was like, Thank you. And I couldn't wait to see you. But yeah, our prayer together where we didn't see each other, that was amazing. And then I really enjoyed beforehand. I got to spend the morning with my sister, and we got ready together, and we had fun cups.
And I got a sneak peek as I was driving by to get my hair cut. I saw you getting out of the van.
Oh, you did?
I did, and I said, you're looking good, and you're like, you can't see me. It's illegal.
Yeah, luckily I didn't have my dress or anything on.
No, she did not.
But yeah, that was fun. And then of course just getting ready with my sister and my friends and preparing. Other than that, it was such a blur. It went by so fast.
Another moment that I really cherish from that day was after we got married and had our family pictures, you took me back and you gave me a gift that I forgot to open before I got ready.
I sent Andrew a present and gave it to his best man to take back to Andrew. And I said, this is for Andrew. It's a wedding present for him. He said, oh, yeah, okay. Well, in the hustle and bustle of everything, it got forgotten about. And I told Andrew, I said, after our pictures and we said, I do, we walked back down the aisle. I turned to him. I said, did you like your gift? And he said, what? I said, your wedding gift. And he said, I didn't get a wedding gift. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
So then he went and opened it.
And one of the things in that wedding gift, first of all, was cologne.
Which he was supposed to wear while we were getting married. So whenever he smelt it, it brought back.
Whenever you smelt it.
No, it was for both of us.
Maybe.
Whenever you smelt it, it would bring back memories of our wedding. For both of us.
Okay.
It was for both of us.
Yes, it was.
So we put it on afterwards.
And it smelled amazing. But one of the things that was given in that gift also was a book of a year's worth of questions. And the book, every day, it poses a question, and it has 3 sections for 3 different years. And every day you go through and answer your question for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Linking back to having that date night where we asked each other questions, we felt like that was something that we wanted to keep doing. And so we kept that up. We kept asking each other questions. And have we kept up with the book? No.
No, we do our best.
We do our best.
We do pick it up and answer them periodically.
Did we miss out on about 8 months? We did indeed.
But we're trying. And we still talk. We have great communication.
Yes. But I really like that you got that book. And I like that we can look back at our answers and see if they changed. I don't know if they're going to change that much.
I don't think they will.
But I do like just, asking questions. A lot of them feel samey too. Not going to critique the amazing book that you got me right now, but
wow, thanks.
But I do like that, just that window of communicating with each other and answering questions.
Yeah, it's really great. That was our engagement and wedding. Hope you enjoyed the story of us. We enjoy it. We enjoy telling it.
Yeah.
But I guess that brings us into our weekly segment, Andrew.
Our new weekly segment.
And what's it called?
What have we been up to?
What have we been up to? But those were cymbals crashing and drums going.
Those were cymbals?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start this week since Andrew started last week. Nope, I think I started. I don't remember. I'm gonna start anyways.
It was me because I talked about Bellatra for way too long and you told me to shut up because I was going on way too long.
Yeah, and then we got mad at each other. So if I had a voice drop at the end of the episode, that's why. Okay, so this is what I've been up to this week. Andrew got me for my birthday a new book. It's called Paranesi, which actually I listened to an audio name of it, and it's said a little differently, but I can't remember.
How do you spell that?
So I don't know. How do you spell it, Andrew?
Piranesi.
Yeah. It's very interesting. So he bought me this originally for our cruise we were going on, but it didn't come in time.
It didn't show up in time.
So I just started reading it. I'm probably about 40% done with it, and it's really interesting. It's
a really unique premise. Is there like a quick synopsis you can give?
So far it's about this man, and he's in It's called a house. I'm doing quotation marks with
Marks.
my fingers. But there's like a sea that's contained in the lower levels of the house. In the middle is like the lands and the bird and the birds and all of that. And then in the upper levels of the house, it's the sky and clouds and thunderstorms. And so it's basically a whole environment contained within a huge, huge house. There's like thousands and thousands of corridors with all these statues. And this man is just researching what happens where when the tides come in, what hallways they go through, and he winds up finding another person and making friends with them, but it's just these two people so far, and they're trying to do scientific research on um, what the house is all about and if there's a higher power that they can get to. It's very interesting, and it seems like right now it's starting to take a turn. I won't say what it is.
Yeah, I've only heard about the book through a recommendation, and it sounded super interesting, and so I wanted to read it, and I got it for Courtney because I know Courtney's trying to find new reads.
Yeah, I'm trying to broaden my horizon. So I have a book challenge this year to read 50 books. So this one is
Number 4.
no, it's number 24. Number
Oh,
24.
really?
Yeah, so I'm halfway through my goal, which is good because it's May. So yeah, so that's what I've been reading. Um I don't I think I said this in our first episode, but I work at a tea room. So this week on Mondays we do prep. We're prepping for our Mother's Day tea. So I was doing all the fun desserts on Monday.
And my mother decided to help you.
Yeah, she was very helpful. Poor thing was lost in the kitchen. But she was very nice and helped. But yeah, we made all kind of cool treats and desserts for that. We made almond cakes and Irish puffs and creme brulees. So all that stuff got done on Monday. And then I also nanny through the week, so been doing that. And as always, new girl at night. So that's pretty much my week. It's been a little boring, but that's what I've been up to. What about you, Andrew?
Really, all that I've been up to is working on editing the podcast and getting a formula for it that makes it easy. And because I used to make videos for YouTube growing up, and then I got out of the game, and now that I'm coming back in, I used to edit on a Mac, and now I have a PC, and the editing software that I had doesn't think I own it anymore, and so it's like, so I'm using HitFilm Express. And
in case you want to sponsor us.
In case you want to sponsor us, HitFilm Express, I will say thank you for your one-time purchase fee, and now I own you. I love that. But also, I don't really know the language and the layout yet, so I was trying to just get a better feel for what it takes to like add a waveform or to edit clips. And the way I did it the first episode, the way I edited it was terrible. I basically sped up the entire thing so that I could go through it faster, but then when I wanted to stretch the audio back out, it wanted to do it piece by piece, and it ruined everything. So what I ended up doing was I exported it as like the fast, so we were like chipmunk sounding, and then I had to slow it back down, and that's basically how I cheated it. Was I basically slowed down a sped up edited version. So I found a way to do it more efficiently, and I really like the way I have it now.
Yeah,
So
it looks really good, babe.
so it's kind of relearning how to edit videos, because I do enjoy that process. It's just when you haven't done it for so long and you're using software you're not familiar with, it can be a little janky.
Mhm.
But I do have my old videos up on YouTube. I will never reveal where they're found because they are cringe.
Oh, so now we all have to go look for them.
If you can find, oh gosh, there are going to be people who still have my old username. Oh gosh, I've set myself up for that. But I used to make videos with my friends, and they are cringe. It's just a middle school me thinking he's the coolest thing ever.
Didn't we all think that in middle school, though?
Yeah, except I sound like my voice is like 5 octaves higher than it is right now.
I love that for you.
So it's just a squeaky little fat boy. that doesn't sound appropriate. So it's just a high-pitched little fat kid
Oh.
having goofs and a good time. But I do cherish those memories. I wish that I kind of dug my feet into video editing a little bit more,
Mhm.
but even still, I do enjoy making videos and I enjoy editing the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, babe.
And that's about really all I've been up to other than work and
Adulting.
adulting.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I think that wraps up another episode.
Yes. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe
Please like, please subscribe.
if you like our videos.
If you don't subscribe, Courtney will cry.
We're going to stop doing them.
Oh,
Just kidding. That's extreme.
Whoa,
I might cry, though. My feelings get hurt easily.
Courtney will cry. So, yeah, and comment on any feedback or questions that you have. We will refer to them in the future. We appreciate everything you guys do, and we want to involve you in what we do.
Yeah, we want to eventually do an episode where we like interview someone. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would. I've gotten feedback throughout my week last week where someone came up to me and said that they really got a lot out of me sharing my story about dating you and the experience that I had about, falling out of my home church. And that's what I want. I want people to really just take something out of what we have to share.
Yeah, for sure. We're here for your everyday lives.
And Marley's here too as she rolls around and...
Oh, did you hear that?
Yep. Yes, that was Marley. She's done with us. She's like, I need attention now. And so that's our cue to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Courtney, what words of wisdom do you have for us?
Just a reminder that April showers bring May flowers.
Nailed it.
That was good, baby.